Hey guys, it is Audrey and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my MacBook and I'm going to be teaching you how I edit my videos. A lot of you guys have actually requested this. I've always been kind of like open to filming this video, but I didn't know if anyone would really want to see it. But a lot of you guys have requested it, so I decided I will film this. So for all the editing programs that I used in my life, I started off filming on my iPhone and editing on iMovie on my phone, but then later on, I got a camera and a computer, and I edited on Wondershare Filmora. If you have a computer that isn't a Mac and you need a good program, I would recommend getting that. It is $50, but there aren't that many good options for like other computers than a Mac. So if you are looking into getting a good program, I would recommend that one. Then a few months ago, I decided to save up and buy myself a MacBook. So I have been using iMovie. When I first started editing with iMovie on my Mac, it is different from editing on the iPhone. It has a lot more things you can do, which is nice. But when I first started editing on iMovie on my Mac, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be horrible. My editing is gonna be so bad. Then once I messed around with it and figured some things out and talked to some people, I learned how to kind of edit pretty good with this system. Eventually I do want to buy Final Cut Pro just because that's a super good editing system, but for right now this is working. So here is my video so far, and yes, it is edited, but I'm just gonna kind of talk through it. So the first thing that I will do is I will import all of my footage, and for some reason it's hard to import your footage unless you put it onto your desktop. Yeah, that's how I import all my stuff if you're having trouble like figuring out how to import. So then once I have all my stuff imported, before I edit and like clip all of the footage into shorter clips, I will usually click on it and I'll edit with the top here. They have like match color, white balance, skin tone balance, which I honestly don't use that much. Sometimes I'll hit the auto and it just kind of like puts the saturation up a little bit, fixes the brightness, but sometimes that doesn't really work for me, so I'm just going to show you what I do when that doesn't work. So I'll go to this little thing right here, and usually I'll just put the warmth up a little bit and I'll put the saturation up a little bit. So then I'll just go through and do that to all of my clips. For music is one of the hardest things to do as a YouTuber, I feel like, with dealing with copyright, finding music, getting it on your computer, you know, it's just really hard. The way I find my music is either I'll just find it on Spotify or just find a song I like, or when I'm watching YouTube videos, I'll listen to their music and see like what music they're using, and then I'll just like ask Siri like, what am I listening to? And then I'll use those songs. But once I find a song, I will go into Safari and I go to SoundCloud, and then I'll just search up a random song. Usually if you don't want to get copyrighted, you can't really use like an Ed Sheeran or Taylor Swift song. You have to use kind of a low-key song. One that I use all the time is Ukulele and Chill. Open up the song, copy the link, Command C. I open a new tab and I go to SoundCloud to MP3. Just look up on your website SoundCloud to MP3 or SoundCloud downloader, but then you just paste the link and it'll show right here the audio. So it says Ukulele and Chill, and then you can download it. So that's kind of how I find music. It is super hard to find music, honestly, and if anyone has any tips of how to find music, then please comment down below because that's something I struggle with all the time. So then normally I'll just go through all the clips and kind of shorten them, cut out some random stuff. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about a lot were my titles. On iMovie, they don't have that much options for titles. So if you hit here, there's like title options, but it's only white. There's not that many good transitions. It's just not the best option. So for this video, what I did was I put like a pink overlay and a text overlay for my Q&A questions. So the way that I do this is I go into Keynote. So yeah, I'll open Keynote and I'll hit new document. Okay, so for this one specifically, what I did was I deleted the text, and then right here you can change the background. So then right here I'll pick a color and then I'll add some text. So another thing is Keynote, they have a lot of actually good texts, but a way to get good, like better texts that are a little bit cuter is to go to just websites like DaFont, I think is one. If you go to Safari and then you just look up DaFont, I think is what it's called. Yeah, they have hundreds, thousands of fonts. Okay, this is one that I use a lot, Keep on Trucking, and then right here you can hit download. So I'm just gonna choose a random one. I actually really like this Beauty and the Beast one. So I'm gonna hit download. So then hit this button up here, downloads, and hit on Beauty and the Beast. Once you find your folder for your text, hit the Beauty and the Beast sample, and then find it and hit install font. So it's right there, and then I'll usually change the font size to make it bigger, do all that jazz. If you just do this, that's fine. So usually what I'll do is I'll take the text and I'll hit animate and build in and build out. So for build in, you just need to choose some random one. So I'll do flip. I use this one sometimes. And then you can change like left to right, right to left, top to bottom. I'll do left to right, and you can hit bounce or no bounce. And you can also change how fast you want it. And then you're gonna want to do a build out as well. You can do the same one or a different one. I'll do move out. I do this one a lot too. And then the most important part is build order. So subscribe. The first build in, you're gonna change from on click to after transition, because in iMovie you can't click. And then move out, you're gonna do after build one, and you wanna hit a delay. So usually I'll do a delay for about 4 seconds or so. And then some other things that I like to do, I'll go to shapes and I'll add some stars. So then once you go into build order, you can move all this stuff around. So the subscribe is gonna go in first, and I want both my stars to pop in right after. So I'm gonna move that forward. I'm gonna put the star after build one. Yeah. And then the next star is going to be with build two. So both of the stars will come in together. And then the subscribe will be after build three. So then I'm gonna hit preview and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So as you can tell, that's kind of what it looks like. That wasn't really the best thing ever. I'm gonna take a second to make this better, and then I'll show you the final product. All right, so I finished making this thing, so I'm gonna show you the preview. So that's just a cute little thing. So then to save it, what I do is I hit File, Export to, Movie, and then you want to change the slide thing to 0, and then save as whatever. I usually just save it to desktop because it's easy to find, and then I'll hit export. So I'll put it over, but what I did for my questions was I took it and I can crop it to zoom in since it is a little bit far, and then hit that button, and I messed with the opacity, so I just did like it sheer so you could still kind of see my face when I was reading the questions. Now I'm going to just show you one more example of some things that I do to get text but no like pink background. So I'll go back into Keynote, and basically I'll do another just little text animation thing, but the background, what I will do is I'll change it to green. It needs to be like a bright green, like green screen color, because it's basically going to become a green screen. So next I'm going to do the same thing, export it, movie, 00, export it to desktop. I'm going to go back into iMovie, and I'm gonna drag in this subscribe thing, and then personally I would not want that green background in there. So if you want just text to pop in with a cool font and a cool animation, but you don't want that background, what you do is you come into this section and you hit cutaway and you go to green blue screen. So all that greenness will go away. And then usually I'll mess around with a crop and like put it in like the corner or something. So obviously this isn't that visible on like this background. I would probably choose a different color and stuff, but I'm just gonna show you how it looks. So that is just kind of how I get those animations. Honestly, that's the best thing ever. You can do it with inserting pictures, inserting whatever you want. You can do it through Keynote, which has been literally a lifesaver for me. So that's kind of it on my editing. Then I'll just go through, I watch my videos like 3 times and just crop as much stuff out as I can, because I don't like my videos to be extremely, extremely long. But those are just some of the things that I think would help you guys out a lot. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions on how to edit with iMovie, or just any questions, comment down below and I will try to answer them and help you guys out. Also, subscribe to my channel if you're new. And also, I just want to say thank you so much for 20,000. I don't know when this video is going up, but I found out like a day or 2 ago that I hit 20,000. So thank you so much. That's like such a great milestone. But anyways, my mom's vacuuming, so I gotta go. Bye guys, I love you.